What's going on, everybody? GemMint here with today's new comic book day reviews. It's Wednesday, September 22nd, and as always, I'm going to go through this week's comics as spoiler-free as possible. Before I jump into it, though, make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss one. We got a big giveaway going on for our next subscriber milestone of 150K, and we're giving away this Deja Thoris premium format by Sideshow. Stick around to the end of the video for more details on that and for my pick of the week. And we're going to change it up a little bit and start with the DC books that I read this week. And we're going to start with Batman The Adventures Continue, Season 2, Issue 4. This is by Burnett, Dini, Gibson, and Kubina. I really like the pacing of this book. It really feels like you're watching an episode of the Batman animated series. It's got the same artistic style, the same darkness to it, like so many dope shots of Batman on a rooftop with the red sky in the background. This one was interesting. It was a Montoya issue, and it's interesting to see how they play on her relationship with her partner. She's a lesbian, and it's not something you would have seen in the cartoon back in the 90s. So I don't know, it's kind of like the cartoon we remember, but it's 2021, kind of feeling like it aged appropriately with the times. The story was okay. You have this villain on the front here, kind of like this Batman Bane type of character that Batman goes up against, but very much a detective issue, if you will. Then we got Suicide Squad King Shark issue 1 out of 6. This is by Tim Seeley and Collins. So this is just like that free comic book day one shot we had. I'm pretty sure part of this story was told in there, so now we're just getting more of it. I mean, you're basically getting the new Suicide Squad King Shark that we got from the movie in the comics now. You know, connecting those dots and getting us more familiar with that character. It was just basically a typical Suicide Squad issue. Amanda Waller sending King Shark back home for his, I don't know, monthly visit or whatever he gets, but there's an insurance card in place with our main character, this graffiti ex-girlfriend of Nightwing, who is just there as an insurance policy, because if you don't do what Amanda Waller says, you know what she's gonna do. Then we have Batman 113 by James Tynion IV, Jorge Jimenez, and Mori. I mean, you got to give it up for the artwork on this book. It's really dope. And we're in the Fear State. We have Batman teaming up with Ghostmaker, as you can see here on the cover. And really what Fear State has been doing was kind of connecting the dots between where we were in present day time and future state. We get more of how Scarecrow was able to come up with this whole plot, this whole Fear State agenda that he's put forth, and how it ties in with Ghostmaker back in the day. I think it pushes the story forward. We kind of see where the pieces are lying now with the Peacekeeper 01 and Peacekeeper X, and how it's all gonna pan out. Tynion basically setting up the board for his departure on Batman, and it's got the Clown Hunter backstory. That one's by Thomas and Howard. And yeah, I mean, it's basically continuing from his free comic book day little insert of him falling from the building and being possessed by the toxin fear gas from Scarecrow, and hallucinating jokers and monsters, and reliving what made him become the Clown Hunter to begin with. So overall, solid issue. Then we're on to Flash 774 by Adams, Deuce, and Sinclair. This was kind of a touching issue here, as you can see by the cover. It's the Flash and his daughter Iris, a daddy-daughter adventure, if you will, having to team up to take down this foe who's able to control your nightmares and bring them to life. And it was kind of touching in that aspect, kind of like a filler issue, if you will, but it was okay. It was enjoyable. Then we have Shazam issue 3 out of 4 by Sheridan, Henry, and Mayalo. I mean, it was okay. I like the artwork here. I mean, you're in hell, so it's got some vibrant colors. Shazam trying to get his powers back, trying to get to the Rock of Eternity. It does tie in with Teen Titans Academy, which I dropped. This one is not really that important. It's better than Teen Titans Academy. As you can see, I'm still reading this one. And I do like the Shazam character and everything, but it's 4 issues, and then we're going to be done. You could probably do without this one. Then we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, Everly, and Lopez, issue 4 out of 8. You know, I always think I'm not going to like this issue, or these issues as I'm reading them. They always kind of start off a little slow, a little wordy. But man, around midway through, you get hooked and really invested into the narration of the character who's riding along with Supergirl, and you start to really dig Supergirl. She's kind of like really a badass in this series, and they're traveling from world to world in the footsteps of the man that they're after, who not only killed Krypto, but the narrator's parents, and they're just following his wake of destruction. But man, so much about Supergirl that I loved in this, especially explaining what it's like for her to not use her powers. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I really like that aspect here, and it really made me think about these meta-powered beings, Superman, Supergirl, and what it's like for them to just walk next to us normally. Then we're on to Nightwing 84. This is the first of a 3-arc Fear State tie-in by Tom Taylor, Rodriguez, and Lucas. So different guy on the art here, but the artwork really stood out here. It's almost like, dang, they're putting all the good artists on Nightwing and Batman, right? I love the team up with Batman. Such a touching scene at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but when Batman says something to Nightwing, you're just like, ugh. It really gets you, man. Yeah, so basically, Nightwing, he gets set up by the fake Oracle. We know from Fear State that someone's hijacked Oracle and is spreading misinformation and lies, gets Nightwing caught up, and that's kind of the synopsis of this issue. I thought it was great, though. I think Rendondo is typically on the art here, but this was a welcome change. I really like the dynamic art style here. Then we have Batman the Detective, issue 5 out of 6 by Tom Taylor again, Andy Kubert, Hope, and Anderson. I dug this as well, man. This feels very much like the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman. He's up against this cult that all dress up in white Batman uniforms who are trying to kill everybody that Batman has saved. And in this issue, we find out why. And it makes sense. Like, think about it. Like, you know what? I don't even want to give it away. It's too much into spoiler territory. But we find out it makes sense. It's interesting. Great action scenes in this book. It's kind of suffering from delays, though. I feel like the last issue had to be over a month ago. But one more issue left. It's been a fun little futuristic what-if story. Moving on over to Marvel, we have Alien issue 7. And I love for how right on the cover they say, new arc starts here. Philip Kennedy Johnson, Salvador LaRocca, and Guru EFX. Loved it. Love this series. And it's fitting that they put that on the cover. You don't even really have to know anything that happened in issues 1 through 6, and you can jump on right here. A new crew terraform this moon around this other planet, seemingly living in paradise, but it's an alien story. So you can see on the cover, kind of got Signs vibes, M. Night Shyamalan type vibes, but really dug this. I like the art. I like the tone. Just like the first arc, it feels like the movie. The way they set up the plots, the way they have the suspense. So, really enjoyed it. Next up, we have X-Men Legends issue 7. This is by Hama, Tan, and Sotomayor. Just look at that cover, man. 90s X-Men goodness. Lady Deathstrike, Wolverine and Jubilee adventure, tying into events that happened in Wolverine's ongoing series from 1988 as Patch. So that's what X-Men Legends does. It kind of picks this point in time and gives you like a story in between stories here. A mutant child trafficking ring that Wolverine and Jubilee are here to break up. I dug it. I liked it. You had the hand in there, as you can see on the cover. Great artwork, kind of throwback 90s Jim Lee style, but not exactly the same. But I like this one. This was probably my favorite one out of all of them so far. Then we got Moon Knight issue 3. This is by McKay, Capuccio, and Rosenberg. I bet you this is going to be Robbie's pick of the week, or probably some indie book I'm not reading. This was great, man. You got Moon Knight. He's the fist of Khonshu, the moon god, right? So how many fists do people have? There's 2 fists. So there's 2 Moon Knights in here, and we get a little clash of the Titans. So really interesting. I like how we get to know more about Moon Knight and what makes him different from other people who have wielded this power in the past. He's a little crazy, and it works for him. Artwork was big, a lot of great panels, a lot of Moon Knight sequences here. So it's been a fun book. I think people are going to dig this one that have been reading the series so far. All right, then on to Onslaught Revelation. This is a one-shot, and this is by Spurrier, Quinn, and Tartaglia. So this is basically the epilogue to Way of X, the Nightcrawler-led book, which introduced Onslaught and played with the idea of the Resurrection Protocol, kind of asking all the questions that us as readers have been asking, and like, if you make death cheap, doesn't that cheapen life? So that's kind of what they play with here. They explain how Onslaught was tied into the Resurrection Protocol. So I thought this was a cool, like, a way to address those concerns and maybe change the way things happen moving forward. I'm not really sure yet. Artwork was great. It wraps itself up in this one shot. If you haven't read Way of X, you might be lost. But kind of knowing what I just said and then reading this, you can see for yourself. Follow that by X-Men issue 3 by Jerry Dugan, Larraz, and Garcia. I really like this X-Men run. It's different from the predecessor in the sense that there's no council meetings, there's no boring scenes. It's really action-packed. It's a lot of fighting. I like how they tied in the Aroko Mars stuff from Planet-Size X-Men, which has caught the eye of a very powerful being who's really into evolution. So I kind of like that. I kind of like the squad that he's rolling with, which would have been worthy of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line back in the day. So it was fun, man. And then I like at the end how it's kind of like, don't forget about these other villains that we've teased in the first issue. Like, what are the humans doing here? The people that are pissed off that you guys have taken over Mars. So it's been a fun series so far. Action-packed, great artwork, great battle scenes. Great fight scenes. Lastly, we have The Death of Doctor Strange, issue 1 by Jed MacKay, Lee Garrett, and Antonia Febuela. So I did like this one. You know, I think obligatory movie kind of tie-in, maybe. I mean, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is coming out, so, you know, we're going to pump out Doctor Strange books. So The Death of Doctor Strange isn't all that it seems. I like how they play with the death a lot in here with his ghost dog that he's rolling with. It seems to pick up from the Surgeon Supreme storyline where he's back being a surgeon, but he's still the Sorcerer Supreme. But it's got a cool hook and twist to it at the end. If you're a Doctor Strange fan, you might as well pick it up. Before we jump into the indies, a quick word from our sponsor, Cheap Graphic Novels. Cheap Graphic Novels is your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They pride themselves on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. CGN is excited to announce that they're now taking pre-orders. They're making it easier for you to ensure that you don't miss out on the hottest releases. Cheap Graphic Novels is currently running a special promotion for the Geminites. If you're a first-time customer, let them know that you were referred by Mint Collectibles at checkout and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. This promotion is only valid for the United States. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts and quality shipping and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. All right, guys, then on to the indies. Let's start with Image with some Radiant Black, Kyle Higgins with Marcelo Costa, Natalia Marquez, and Becca Carey. So this is issue 8 already. Yeah, and it's way different than how it started. You know, it started with a lot of personal, attachment to the character who had the Radiant Black power. It does feel kind of Power Ranger-ish. I hate to even compare that. If Kyle Higgins watches this, he probably gets pissed every time. But I mean, they have the different color suits. They're learning their powers. They're going against this common foe. So some people have to put their differences to side. But really great, vibrant, flashy artwork. It's clean. It's easy on the eyes. Ready for something else to happen here. I feel like the last 3 issues have kind of been the same thing, but still sticking with it. Then we have King Spawn issue 2. Man, I almost wanted to give this one pick of the week, Sean Lewis and Javier Fernandez. So I'm telling you, man, Spawn is having bigger stakes with these issues, man. I love the Billy Kincaid kind of resurrection that's going on here in this cult that he's building. Crazy scenes showing some of the people that are followers of him, young kids, man, tying into that kid themes. Like I said, the stakes are high, causing Spawn to do something that he had to do, but there's going to be ramifications for it. Artwork is dark, it's scary, it's looming, and it's fun, man. You might as well be on King Spawn, only on issue 2. Also from Image, we have Frontierman by Patrick Kinlan, Marco Ferrari. So I wasn't really digging this, man. Frontierman is a hero from back in the day in this world, and he's kind of retired. He's off the grid, but like, these guys want to help him as part of their cause to save some type of forest or something. And it gets to be, it's more of a political book, which I'm not really into. So I don't know. I just really wasn't into this one. Then from Image Top Cow, we have Siphon issue 3 by Meany, Ashraf, Edwards, and Khalees. So the thing you're going to get with this book is mind-blowing artwork. Huge, bright, flashy, big pages here. The story is okay too. I mean, I liked issue 2 was the strongest out of the 3 so far, but basically this guy's got this powers where he can siphon your emotions, whether that's good or bad, take them from you, and then he's got to deal with it. So that all happened and was explained in the last issue, and this one's just kind of explaining or showing our main character's interaction with kind of the more powerful sensei type guy and how that whole thing resolves. But this is one of those ones where you might as well check it out for the artwork. I'm ready to see something else happen here. It looks like we're primed to set up another arc or a new arc. So I guess, we'll see where it goes. All right, guys, then we have Dark Blood issue 3 out of 6. This is by Latoya Morgan, Moises Hidalgo, and AHG. So I wasn't really digging this issue. I felt it to be kind of slow. Nothing really happened. A lot of flashbacks to 10 years before the variants, and now it's this soldier from World War II, which something happened, which is called the variants, that gave him powers, and he's kind of got into trouble in 1950s where he's an African-American man, and there's a lot of tension in the air. There's a lot of racism, but nothing really happened in this issue, except for it looks like he's in trouble. But 6-issue series, I do want to see how it resolves, but this one just kind of was like, eh. Next up from Boom Studios, we have Eat the Rich issue 2. This one's by Sarah Gailey, P.S. Bach, and Roman Titov. I liked issue 1 a lot. I liked issue 2 even more. You can see her on the cover. She's bloody. She witnessed these rich people at the end of this party, after this roast, literally eat the guy they were roasting. So there's cannibalism involved. It's like this high society. Is this normal? Is this what all these people do? She's freaking out. Got to get the hell out of here. And I like how it plays out. It's interesting. And I like how she kind of steps up. It looks like she's going to be stronger than she initially let on, to see where all this goes. So good thing for us, the readers, because we can follow along and see what's up. But I did like Eat the Rich too. And lastly, my pick of the week, it's Last Ronin, issue 4. This one's by Eastman, Laird, Waltz, Escorza, Bishop, and Delgado. I had trouble coming up with this week's pick of the week. Nothing really stood out amongst the rest. But when I thought about it, man, Last Ronin definitely gave me more of an emotional punch than anything else. It had great action sequences, and it's shared between different artists, right? Like Eastman does the Japanese flashback stuff. The initial artwork really reminded me of Frank Miller's Batman Dark Knight Returns, and it's fitting because the Turtles were created based off of Frank Miller's Daredevil. So I kind of like that homage to it. Old man Last Ronin. I still don't want to give out who he is, just in case you guys don't know. But yeah, man, each issue has been telling us how one of the brothers has died. We learn about a couple of deaths in this issue. Big, huge battle. And I don't want to give any spoilers away, so a ray of hope for everybody. So that was cool. It was really touching with Casey Jones and April O'Neil's daughter with The Last Ronin. I liked it a lot, man. It definitely stood out amongst the rest. So that's it, guys. That's this week's new comics. Let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. That's what's going to enter you into the giveaway for our next subscriber milestone of 150K. And like I said, we're giving away that Deja Thoris premium format statue by Sideshow. All you got to do is be subscribed to the channel, leave a like, and comment below. Once we reach the milestone, we'll go live, pick a random video where I promoted the giveaway, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. As always, I appreciate you watching, but don't go anywhere. Check out last week's top 10 comics with me and Rockin' Robbie, and my last week's new comic book day reviews if you missed them. Stay minty fresh, y'all. Peace.